Instagram analytics. You've heard people talking about it. You heard me talk about it in another video, but how do you find those analytics and what do those analytics mean? There's so many numbers. In this video with my phone, we're going to walk through where to find the analytics and what you need to know about it. My name is Michelle Gifford. I'm a brand marketing strategist. I'm helping you grow on Instagram without the burnout, without the stress, and with a whole bunch of strategy because Instagram has changed. And so your strategy needs to change. And I am here to help you. I'm implementing these strategies in my own account. I'm teaching it to other businesses and I'm implementing them on my client's account. So this is all stuff that has been tried and true and tested, and I can't wait to give it to you. So let's open our Instagram app and talk about analytics. So when you're looking at analytics, you can get analytics for each post. So we'll go through that. And then we're going to be going through analytics for the time period. All right. So we're going to go to this post. Now you'll notice that you'll see a place that says view insights. So I'm going to click there, and these insights, you'll be able to see how many people have liked it, how many people have commented, how many people have shared, and how many people have saved it for later. Next, you'll see accounts reached. Accounts reached is how many people saw your content. Accounts engaged is how many people either liked, commented, shared, saved, like have actually taken action on your content. And then profile activity is how many people went to your profile. All right, then we can go to reach. Now, you'll notice that there's 123,000 accounts reached and 90,000 of those were non-followers. So that's a big deal. I pay attention to this because if I have a post like this that is getting more non-followers than followers seeing this, I know that it probably got on Instagram Explore page and Instagram is pushing it out to other people. I talk about the different types of content in a lot of my videos. I'll link some below, but attraction content is the content that brings in new followers. So when I see this and the reach is this high and the majority of them are non-followers, then I know that this is an attraction piece that probably got me a lot of followers. So I'm going to scroll down. Impressions are again, how many people saw it and where did they see it? So 51,000 came from the home page. That means that Instagram put it in their feed. Now explore page, this means when you go down to this magnifying glass, that's your explore page. So 48,000 saw it from their explore page, 39,000 from profile and 4,000 from other. I'm not sure what the other is. Maybe it's got shared or something like that. So now we're going to go down to engagement. How many people were non-followers versus followers? This is a big deal. If 10,000 engaged and those were non-followers, then that means it's a higher likelihood that those people are going to follow, right? Because they engaged. And then you can come down to the post interactions. This should be consistent with these numbers up here. And then profile activity. Profile activity means that someone went to your profile to probably look at your bio and maybe click on a link or follow. So we saw that 7,800 went to visit, 1,400 followed, and 300 tapped an external link, which probably means they clicked on my link in the bio. This posted really well. That's why it's pinned. It got me 1,400 followers. Like that's a huge deal. I'm going to go to one that is more recent that hasn't had quite as much time to get as much traction. So this one had 53,000 accounts reached and almost 34,000 were followers. So you can see that light blue is followers and the dark blue is non-followers. So this one I would say is a more nurture piece of content because it has a higher percentage of followers who saw the content compared to non-followers. And you'll see that that's reflected in how many new followers I got. So the other one that had a higher percentage of non-followers see it, I had 1,400 people follow from that post. And this one who had a lower percentage of non-followers saw it only had 350. I say only, but that's still a lot. So that's how you can look at your carousel posts or your single image post analytics. Reels analytics looks different. So you can see that they've added plays. That's the only difference from the top bar is they've added plays. You can see the accounts reached and reel interactions. That's how many people actually did something with the reel. So down here, you can see there were 15,000 followers saw this and 1,400 non-followers. So this wasn't one that got pushed out to a ton of people, but got pushed out to my followers, which is great. I was selling something, so I'm pretty happy about this. So look at this. Initial plays is 18,000. Replays are 23,000. So this means that people saw this video and they probably went to my caption and they were reading that while it played in the background. So a lot of my plays came from replays. Instagram is tracking watch time, and this was a short reel. It was like 8 seconds. So most people watched all the way through. That's important. I'm going to show you a talking head video and we'll compare. So this is what reels looks like. As you can see, they don't say how many followers came from your reels. That's not analytics that Instagram is telling us right now. Let's go to one of my videos that is more talking head because I want to show you audience retention because it looks different when you're talking for a minute and 15 seconds compared to 7 seconds. Because if I could get people past the 15-second line, maybe 10-second line, most of them watch to the end. So that's an important thing. As as I'm creating content is that I 100% came in and then I lost about half of them at probably that 8-10 second line. I need to know that. So when I'm creating content, I maybe can add another hook at that 8 or 10 second line to keep people going and keep people listening. And then you can come down and just look at likes, saves, shares, and comments. Also, sometimes I just look at watch time because I think it's bananas that I made a 1-minute video and it's been watched 58 hours. That's where you can find your analytics for individual posts. Where can we find our analytics for our whole account? So go to the professional dashboard and here you are in your insights. You can check your insights for accounts reached, accounts engaged, total follows, and content you shared. I like to go to content you shared because I can narrow down on like which content is doing better for the different levers that we can pull. So up at the top, you can change this to 7 days, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, a year, or 2 years. And then you can click here and you can make some other adjustments. So you can say sort by highest, which is what I want. And then the metric is engage or accounts reached or shares. I actually like accounts reached. This kind of helps me know which content is getting pushed out by Instagram more. So now I can scroll through these and you can see that the top 8 are reels. So I can look at the content and see which content is getting me in front of more people. Looking at our content helps us understand which content is doing what. So accounts reach are probably bringing in new followers. Content that's been engaged with is probably more nurture content. Now we can go to our followers and we can see what our growth has been over the last 90 days. You can change it up there. You can see your trends for the last 90 days. You can scroll down and see where are most of your people from. You can do cities or you can do countries. You can see your demographics, men or women, and then you can see when people are most active, which hours and which days. So let's go back to accounts reached. You can do accounts reached in the last 30 days. Again, you can change that number. We're just going to stick with 30 days. So you'll notice on your content type, it'll show you how many you reach with that type of content. The light blue are followers. The dark blue are non-followers. So in my posts, I reached 1 million people, but you can see the majority of them were non-followers and a small percentage were followers. And the same thing for reels. I did really well with my carousel post this month because usually the reels are much bigger than my carousel posts. And now you can look at your top content from the last 30 days. I can again adjust the controls to change the metric, but we'll do accounts reached. So this ChatGPT post reached 661,000. Anyway, I can go through here and I can see which content is doing the best. And then that can help me understand which content I should do more of. Then let's go to accounts engaged. And this is going to be, again, more of that nurture content. And you can look at the number of accounts that are engaging with you on a monthly basis. So how do you use this going forward? When you're looking at your analytics, we're going to be looking at understanding the types of content that are getting the type of result we want. So if we want to grow, we're going to go look at the analytics that show us which posts got the most reach, because those are most likely to get the most follows. We're going to analyze them. We're going to look at the topics that we're talking about. How was it delivered? Was it a reel? Was it a carousel post? What were my call to actions? Those type of things. And then we're going to say, okay, how can I make more of this type of content so that I can continue to increase my reach? If we're in a nurture phase, we really want to get our audience engaged. Then we're going to go look at our analytics and look at the content that is doing well and getting the most people to engage and which isn't. What is the difference and how can we do more of the things that people are liking and less of the things that are not getting us the results we want? Because we want to have an analytics driven social media strategy. We don't want to have an emotional driven strategy. And to do that, we have to understand our analytics. One of the biggest ways that you can increase people even stopping and looking at your content is to have really good hooks. Now, I have a free hook guide that gives you 131 hooks and how to use them. You can get that link below. And if you want a content plan with prompts and hooks, and if you want to get your questions answered by me and get trending audios, then come join my Insta Social Society. Make sure you follow and we'll see you next time.